side. Heard about me, it's all lies. If you want good, change your mind, yeah. Don't want to intimidate, but more than just conversate. Don't want it to be too late, yeah. Know that I'm not usually your type. Darling, there's no need to be shy. See the curiosity in your eyes. Come a little closer, babe. I don't bite. You've been getting on my good side, and it's something that I can't hide, yeah. When I'm with you, I'm tongue-tied. I know you're not that dramatic, but I'm out of you, I'm an addict. I can't get enough, and I know that I'm not usually your type. Darling, there's no need to be shy. See the curiosity in your eyes. Come a little closer, babe. I don't bite.
Keep everything that spills out of the dark locked up behind your lips. It's blooming out of nothing but a thought, like secrets that slowly slip. Shadow in the spotlight, no stars inside, chasing the daylight. If you don't care, I don't care.
got to let it go, baby. You got to let it go, you got to let it go, baby. You got to let it go. To let it go, baby. You got to let it go. You got to let it go, baby. You got to let it go.
Something to say to lovers turn to strangers, but they stay fools. I'll break the chains, take the pain to save you, save you. Baby, I've been high and low. All the feelings I won't show. It's better if I let you go. You'll be better off alone. Pretty little fears I got, second guessing every shot. I won't lie, no I won't lie. I'm free but now I'm lost. Freedom comes at a cost. I won't lie, not this time. It's better if I let you go. You'll be better
Hello and welcome to the ECS Contender series. I'm McCready. Joining me is the real CCV. Sorry, I do not want to get it wrong, but we have some incredible games coming up for you today, don't we? Only the one matchup going to be a biggie, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly will be. Today we've got Rocket Gaming up against Fallacy. These teams, like you mentioned, in the Contenders division, whine and eyeing for that number two spot. Of course, Contenders right now, it's being dominated by Makers Academy. They've completely just thrashed their opponents in all of the games they've played. But that doesn't mean that they're the only team in this division. Of course, we have 8 total teams, out of which 4, the top 4, will head into the championship playoffs. So for now, both these teams are in the top 4. Currently we have Rocket Gaming sitting comfortably at spot number 2 and Fallacy at spot 4. However, things are very, very close. There's only a 1 point difference between both these teams. So we have got a best of 2 today. A win gives you 3 points, a draw, a single point, and a loss gives you 0. No deductions. So it's going to be very, very close between both Fallacy and Rocket. And well, basically, we're going to get some awesome games with teams proving their best here.
Yeah, so it's all to play for both teams here. So Rocket League and Fallacy, two teams we've seen before. I don't think they've really had the dominant showing so far. Or they've not been the stars of their own show. They're definitely looking to do that right now. Rocket League, I've seen before when I was casting with Jerry's, saw them on Coastline. They did give a good showing. I'm quite excited to see them there. And when we do look at the map bands, if we go back to Coastline, I'd be quite excited to see what they have to bring to the table. Whereas Fallacy, I haven't seen as much of. I think I've seen them around, but not watched that much, so I'm not exactly sure how they'll be playing. But I'm quite excited to find out because there's unknown quantities. They're always what makes it for me.
Yeah, I think you put it nicely that both these teams, though they have played two best of 2 so far, each of them, they haven't been as dominating as Makers Academy have been 7-0, 7-1s, yet they've won majority of their games. We are seeing 7-3s. There was, I believe, a draw for the side of Rocket Gaming on Conslet when they had played against their first game, which was against Team Manic or some other team. I forgot, my apologies. But still, it's been good. It's not been bad at all. I don't think any of these teams have suffered any losses so far. It's just Fallacy. Fallacy has only lost one map, otherwise, majorly draws. So yeah, a lot to play for, and of course the teams are comprised of players. Of players. And here we have in front of us the players for both Rocket and Fallacy.
Yeah, now taking a look at this, one thing that really stands out to me right now is Enk, and typically you're looking at this player on Fallacy as more a support role, looking at the operator, the plants that have gone down, the plants that haven't gone down actually. But the KD, realistically, I'm looking at Enk and I'm thinking, okay, you're going to be on the support role, but you're actually posting up the highest KD, the highest rating. That might be because you may have played less games than the others, but that's some pretty good stats. That's a player to look out for me. On the other side, Rocket Gaming don't seem to have stats, but from what I remember, Ponaf and I believe it was Sox. Those are two absolutely huge players to watch out for.
Oh, exactly. I mean, these were the 3 players even I was going to talk about, both for Falsi, Enk, and for the side of Rocket Gaming, Ponf, and Sox. These guys have been performing extremely well. We're going to show the map veto right now and the maps that will be played. But so far, from what these players, what these teams have played before, a few of those maps, Villa actually hasn't been played by Rocket and Fallacy. So this will be the first time these teams will be playing Villa in season 3 here at ECS. And then Coastline is back. We're going to see Coastline once again. You love to see it. It's going to be filled with action. It's going to be filled with bloodshed and kills. And well, boy, oh boy, are there going to be kills, because Fallacy, they played Coastline against Aqualix, which was the first game that Fallacy played, the first game that was streamed of the Contenders division, and in general, except for the qualifiers here at ECS. And it was a great game. Enk had gotten 15 kills, a 1.78 rating, and even players such as Tonic, who had a 4-0 opening KD difference, they were posting up high amounts of kills. They won that map 7-3. They played extremely well against Aqualix. So I think Fallacy on one hand is going to completely be prepared for Coastline, but Rocket Gaming, like you mentioned, also has great stats posted up for themselves.
Yeah, so I'm quite excited to get into this actually. And Rocket Gaming, I saw them on Coastline and I was quite excited for that. And actually, I'm pretty sure it was actually an error. They were meant to ban it out, but they still performed really, really well on that map. So I'm quite excited to see us going back. Fallacy maybe reading into that and saying this is one of our more comfortable picks, but they didn't want to play it last time. Let's try and take it to them. So that could be one of the ways that Fallacy are trying to attempt it. But like I said, Rocket Gaming, they really did have a good showing on Coastline. But Villa is one that's really interesting me because it's one of those maps that, with Oregon coming out, has seemingly fallen to the wayside. But it's still one of those quintessential maps for Siege.
I think its pick rate certainly has decreased. There's no denying that. Yet still, I would agree with you. It's a map that is still very well. As if you're a performer, you can play attack on that map. Defense, you're usually in normal settings, in normal scenarios. As a defender, you're gonna have more success on a map like Villa. But still, that doesn't mean you won't board well here. I really like to see Villa in action. I quite love Villa because of its large structure, both horizontally and vertically. It's not humongous, something like Consulate or Clubhouse. It only has two major floors where action takes place. Yet those two floors can comprise of a lot of roam plays. C4s are very, very prevalent. When you see objectives and bomb sites such as first floor kitchen play out, Pulse comes out. Mira can also be played at times. It's a very, very fun map. And now, like you said, its pick rate has decreased. So that has given teams a little bit of play around, offline when they're just by themselves, just
Hmm.
stratting around and just theory crafting what to do. Maybe we'll get to see something new come out because Fallacy, Villa was their first ban when they had played against Aqualix in their first game. Fallacy had started the ban phase and Fallacy had right away banned Villa. I'm not sure whether that was because they didn't want to play it against Aquilix specifically, or whether it was something inside of their own team that they didn't want to bring out. But the fact that they've opted for it right now, they've allowed for it over here, means that we might get to see some new shenanigans brought out from them.
And there's one thing I feel like we always need to touch on when we go to Villa, and it's the fact that, like you said, this is a map that doesn't really have that much prevalence on the bottom floor. There's realistically no reason for a lot of teams to go down there, but I find that when we do see this bottom floor being brought in, it only adds to the game. When we see these deep roams that force out a roam clear, it wastes a lot of time for attackers. That can be absolutely huge to round, or pushes going from the bottom floor rather than the top. It's one of those things that you just don't see in a lot of maps of there's an area that people don't take into account. When you look at Villa, you think of the bottom floor, there's a lot of times where you'll just ignore it because why would you need to go there? You go for a top floor take when it comes to kitchen dining. You don't go down on a deep roam. You try and get the early aggression. But when people go off, that can be huge. But looking at the stats here, the community very much in favor of a draw, whereas the staff, it seems 70% in favor of Rocket Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, everyone can draw their own separate conclusions looking at the community and staff predictions. And I think the community predictions may just come down to the variety of maps being played. Villa and Coastline, two maps that aren't usually seen as equal to each other, are as comparable to each other as something like Clubhouse and Organa. So I think that's one of the reasons, maybe people are hoping for a draw and people are expecting a draw as well. The staff, on the other hand, heavily in favor of Rocket Gaming. I'm not sure. To be honest and admitting to guilt, I forgot my own prediction. I'll have to check up why I predicted for XYZ. But never mind. We are in the game, and well, let's start with the ban phase, shall we? So the two attacker bans just completely focused on the aspect of hard breaching. You have Ace out the window and you have Thatcher out of the window as well. So the attacker bans really revolving around hard breach. And again, Villa, much like a map such as Clubhouse, such as Oregon, it to an extent does revolve around hard breach. Whether you're talking about objectives such as aviator games, such as trophy and statuary, there are specific walls that need to be breached by the attackers. And with Ace and Thatcher, both of them being out the window, Rocket, they'll be starting on the attack. They're gonna have a tough time, just pushing into the objective in general.
Yeah, now, one of the things I want to touch upon here is when you say you typically see Thatcher being taken off the board as well as a hard breacher. Well, in this case, it's going to be Ace. Typically, you'll see a hard breacher being taken away, but more often than not, it's going to be a Maverick because the Maverick can deal around this Thatcher ban very easily. But what the ace brings to the table by taking away the ace is you force them a banner pick. If you want to bring double Heartbreach at that point, you have to bring Maverick or you have to bring Thermite. That means you have to get right up to the wall, and on Villa, almost entirely soft floors across the entire map, at least on the top floor. That is a huge problem. The fact that you can get overexposed, you're just going to have a lot of fun. A defender with a C4 is going to have a lot of fun as long as they have that information. But this time starts ticking out. Let's see what we're looking at with this dining.
Yeah, Falsi, they've chosen kitchen dining. Usually, we see the most prevalent pick. We see Aviator and Games come out of teams. But over here, Fallacy looks like they've got something else on board. Again, the operators, they have chosen nothing out of the ordinary, nothing extremely special. For information, you have Seb on the Valkyrie, Eng playing the Maestro. Since Vamai has been banned for utility denial, you have to play. You're gonna play Jaeger. So I think, it's very very standard what what Fallacy have brought out. And for Rocket, there's only one operator that catches my eye, which is of course Egan playing the Ying. How prevalent is Ying gonna be? That's the only question. Is she gonna be used very much in the late round executions to completely blind and stun the attackers, or is she gonna be used in a different way, maybe to clear out the rumors as well and to catch them hiding inside corners and then being completely dead? But as we say of the rumors, there's the first rumor gone off the board. Tonic, he was getting quite aggressive on that red stairs on the Ash, and Ash versus Jaeger, always the aggressive. They have dueled it out, and in this case, well, it's gonna be Rocket who come out on top as they get another kill for their side. So already within 45 seconds of the action phase, we have a 5v3 situation. Rocket completely overboarding the side of Fallacy right now, and with them having 2 minutes of complete control of second floor. This is exactly, McCready, what you were talking about earlier when we were talking about the bottom floor and how prevalent map control is going to be over here. Rocket completely dominating. They've gotten 3 kills, none of their players dead as of yet, and they have free reign. All of the angles can be built. They can start hard breaching as well. And before you know it, within a span of 1 minute 30 seconds, it's all down to Seb to try and clutch something out of this. So I guess this round, for now, unfortunately, seems already lost for Falsi. They've gone off to a bad start, to say the very least, as we see that flawless round shining on our board. And well, Rocket Gaming are shining in their way through this map.
Yeah, it looks like Rocket Gaming so far, the very aggressive take there, getting that top floor control. The top floor presence didn't really have that much of an impact, as you said and as you saw. And half the round gone, all 5 players being taken away. That's an absolutely huge start. I think the Ying pick, that definitely plays into it. Now, the Wamai is off the board, meaning you have to be very, very careful with these Jaeger ADSs. You have to be absolutely strategic and perfectly place them if you want to have a good defense, especially with the Ying on the board. Now, at least with that, you can use the Sophia charges. You burn the ADS, you get the Candela around that corner. You've opened up a lot of opportunity, so I think this is the type of playstyle we're going to see from Rocket. It seems like they know what they're doing, they know what they want to accomplish with it, and so far with the first round being on that kitchen dining, ripping open that floor, they seem to get it done. Now though, they will have to take that Aviator game site, the more traditional go-to mat site, but the question is, will Fallacy fall as quickly as possible, or will they have this adaptation? Will they be able to slow down the aggression of Rocket?
I think, like you mentioned, both the sides of Rocket and Fallacy, to an extent, they know what they're doing strategically. Rocket were extremely clear and very, very straightforward when it came to the roam clear. They entered into master bedroom, they entered into trophy and statuary, they got the control, they got rid of the roamers as well via red stairs, and then, well, they just continued with their execute. They started with the map control, they started with the vertical gameplay, and it was then that Fallacy could do nothing of that round. So I think Rocket are following the traditional checklist that each and every team does when you're attacking sites that have a floor above them, where vertical gameplay and vertical angles are quite prevalent. On the side of Fallacy, though, they're also fine. I wouldn't say they're anything bad. They were quite fine strategically. They have Roma situated. We just saw Melusi almost peeking out of that astronomy window, playing by Astro Stairs, waiting for picks, waiting for any information on the attackers, and just to act on it. However, it's going to come down to gunfights. We see here Sledge, he's holding that angle, he's passive, and all the attackers slowly closing in on that Melusi. Ash coming from the northern side. So it can quickly mean that Melusi, that Nyx, can fall under pressure very, very quickly. However, the first kill is going to be Seb, dying by the hands of Aegon.
Yes, picking up that first kill, taking away the Legion, and starting things off in favor of Rocket so far. Now, the roam clear is going very nicely, and they're starting to get the control of the areas they need to. However, Rocket, they are taking a bit of their time about it, and Fallacy can get these players rotating around. The drone on 90, though, will mean that they're not sleep resting on their laurels. They are doing what they need to be doing. And Sledge on that 90 window, you know, at this point, I'd say Rocket, they're in a good position so far. Now, though, they need to get that Maestro camera. They need to not die to that C4, which is exactly what Aegon's going to do. That camera will be taken out, and now the push onto 90 will take place. This Banshee can go almost immediately. Nobody down below to try and C4 it, so that's free utility destruction. The rotate around to study is coming out, and Rocket, this is all the hallmarks of a good attack. Although Ruse is going to get picked off in that drone hole, trying to get the utility for this vault opening. That is a huge kill to get so far, but a minute left. There's nothing really determining where this round will go. It's 4 versus 4, and 50 seconds to go.
And this is where the attackers come to a halt for the side of Rocket Gaming. They need a catalyst. They need a sort of an initiation to bring out that attack, because the defenders, they're just going to sit in their fortress. They're just going to wait this out. If the attackers are too impatient, well, they're going to get punished for it. As we see right now, Ash has also gone off the board. So that means Rocket are now at a man disadvantage compared to how they were, and contrasting to how they were early in the round. With 25 seconds remaining, and with the defenders being in such power positions, controlling long haul, it seems to be something of a bottleneck coming for the attackers. They have to enter from Aviator, and even then, they have to, well, shred their way through it, and it looks like they are. They have gotten control of Office, they have gotten control of landing. It's all coming down to Aviator. The defenders, they're trying their best to prevent it. 7 seconds remaining for them, and that's it. Then Falsi will have the round in their hands. The diffuser has been dropped. It is taken now, and the diffuser is going down. There's only one way to end this round. Maestro will try his best. He'll be shut down, and before you know it, Melusi is the only one surviving. She spots Zofia. However, Zofia spots the kill, and well, Rocket, it was the roller coaster of a round, yet they come out on top.
Yeah, absolutely huge there. A very nice play execute coming out for Rocket Gaming, and they lost a couple of players here. Fallacy, a much stronger round for them, being able to get it down to that 4v4 around about half the round. And I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, all the pieces were in place for both sides at that point. You had the 2v2, the plant was going down. Enk and Nyx, they pushed differently. They pushed separately. They didn't try and coordinate it in my eyes. I think it was just the plant's going down, I can swing it, I can stop this, that's what I'm going to do, but it wasn't meant to be. Enk was being taken out by the player watching from that study, and you think, you know, if they were to coordinate it, CCV, maybe they could have been able to catch Sox off guard. He can't win 2 gunfights out of 1. You take that player, the player on defuse is forced off, and with less than 10 seconds to go, that's exactly what you need to be doing. So I want to see a bit more coordination coming out from Fallacy.
I think at the end, yeah, that's surely one of the major things they lacked. You know, they had the round entirely under control. I'd say the utility was quite well placed on their side as well. We have seen the smoke canisters being popped off at the very, very end, delaying the attackers even further. And like I had said, it was almost like a bottleneck that the attackers had to go through. They didn't have a lot of openings. Long haul was under the control of Melusi. Maestro was sitting nicely and cozily inside of Vault, just holding his angles. And even then, somehow Rocket managed to, just via sheer will, they managed to power through and completely decimate the anchor setup that was there in Fallacy. Even after that, even after all was said and done, at 0 minutes and 0 seconds, that was when the plant went down. All Fallacy needed was just to try and stop the diffuser somehow, but it was too little too late. The crossfire was set up. Zofia was nicely tucked away inside Office and inside the doorway of Office, and you know what, it doesn't even matter. Speaking of Zofia, already starting off with a banger, and Melusi is now once again gone off the board. This is the third round and the third time that Fallacy have not gotten off to a good start. Once again, their roamer is dead, and once again, the attackers have a lot of map control.
Yeah, so we're seeing this master side being opened up, and now this is where Rocket are going to want to get that roam clear, get the flank watch, get all the foundation in place for a good push. We're still seeing Aegon on this Yang, meaning I think this is a pretty set part of their roster. This is definitely going to play a lot into how they want to play, how they want to do this. Because if you can get that 90, if you can get a Candela down there, well, you're going to have to make up for the loss of Pernath, which now evens it out. And Sox, though, he's there quickly on the refrag. I will stop talking because it looks like Rocket are fed up of hearing my voice. But looking at this now, Tectonic playing down below in this toilet, this could be huge. The information, at least, would be incredible. But if you had a C4, if you had a Valkyrie, that could have been insane. However, that's not meant to be. Half the round will tick by. Monomech is holding this long area. Has the shield placed a little bit back, so we'll have to go to the main stairs and into the waiting arms of Ruse over there. But Enk is just going to say no. Aegon will lose the Candelas and the Diffuser. Sox are pushing for the refrag. Is unable to land it so far, but the flashbangs are going through. The round is starting to tick towards the end so far, but it looks like Rocket, they're just holding it. They are waiting to get this push going together, and in doing so, they're giving defenders a lot of time to act. The smoke canister doing damage to Gilzeth, and Sox is starting to push in. And that's it. That's Gilzeth being taken down thanks to the smoke canisters. And 50 seconds on the clock. Sox, though, is able to find a refrag. Ruse is able to find Tectonic as well. Now it's all down to Enk. You found 1 kill. You need to find 2 more. Can you do it? Sox will take the ADS down his teammate and has to deal with Enk now. It's a 1 versus 1. That's absolutely huge. But Sox is able to win it out. 4 kills for Rocket, 4 kills for Sox, and nearly a nice little TK.
Yeah, apart from the TK, very, very nice skills coming out from him. The entry frag was great. Even the late round kills and the execute was very, very nice. He was the playmaker of this round. As we see on the replay on our screens, he's the one initiating. He's the person getting control of that long hallway. This is something that the attackers missed in the previous round when they were executing. They were a bit preoccupied with getting control of landing. And it was Zofia pushing from the side of Office. And I think that's what the that's what the defenders expected in this scenario as well. However, Sox proved them wrong. He came from long haul, he got Maestro, he got another kill, and he won the round for the side of Rocket Gaming. So I can see Rocket Gaming, not only are they proving themselves worthy when it comes to mechanical abilities, and Sox just all around getting kills, not just him, his other teammates as well, especially Aegon, but it comes down to the strategical choices as well, the final second choices. That's where Rocket Gaming are really shining. In the previous round, in round 2, when they were attacking Aviator for the first time, they made the choice of sending Zofia from Office, like I said. Then Zofia went from long haul, and she still got kills. She still won the round for her team. So I think Rocket are making the correct choices, and that is entirely winning them rounds.
Yeah, I think that's a very nice way to look at it. When you see these players, we're seeing Rocket, they're going for that coordinated push. Like you were talking about, Ruse. You had one pushing into wall, holding the eyes on Vault. That was Ruse. Unfortunately, got taken down in the crossfire for the wall, but let's be honest, at that point, you can't really criticize it because it just happens. It's a mistake. Sometimes you're going to accidentally wallbang a teammate. You're going for the kill, you're able to win it. Now, that's what I want to see from Rocket. They've been incredible at establishing this early dominance, and if they can get that again, clear out Sebson, especially with this flank cam Sox has, that could be huge.
It certainly can be. And now, once again, for the first time, we're seeing Trophy and Statuary come out. The operator lineup, more or less the same. Seb, in this case, is going to be on the Goyo. And I think that's one of the only operator changes we have. In the previous round, Nyx was playing the Melusi. Oh, he's still on the Melusi. There's no Mozzie, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, that's the only change. Seb from the Mozzie towards the Goyo. Not a lot of operator changes, both on attack and defense. It's just a change in bomb site, and it's just going to be a change in the play styles and how exactly will the teams want to, start the round off. And it looks like Rocket, they're going to go the same old route of getting kills, and that's what they do. 1 minute 55 seconds into the round, doesn't matter, we're going to get kills, and we're already going to start sending our players in towards bathroom and have a coordinated push of getting control of Astronomy, because that's where one of the defenders sits right now, and that's where the attackers have their eyes set.
Yes, Rocket there, able to find that 10th kill for Sock so far. I told you to look after this player, you agreed, and that's absolutely huge. Enk will be forced off that Astro position. Coming up Astro stairs has an opportunity to make something happen, but the frag grenade is going to just make them that little bit more wary. Holding onto those stairs, that's all you can really do as Enk. You can go on your camera, but they know that someone's holding that angle. They have to be if they've got all of this control so far. And a minute 10 left on the clock, Ruse is just going to start moving forward. The information's going to be there from Igon. They know where they're going to be. Monomik will get that smoke cast, and with the sideline through that triple wall, a lot of defender attention is going to be focusing on it. They have to keep an eye on it. They can't just let people walk through. Yesterday, I was casting a game for Uni All-Stars, and the entire team just walked in and planted. That's not something you can have now. Aegon will be taken out by Enk's Evil Eye. That's an absolutely huge kill to start us off with 45 seconds left.
Now the diffuser is left stranded inside Astronomy, and the defenders are aware about it. The Evil Eye really supporting, not just getting kills, but giving that vital information towards the attack, to the defenders. And now the defenders can act on it as well. There goes another kill in favor of Fallacy right now. And Rocket Gaming, they're looking a bit on the ropes. Gills are just getting tagged constantly with that Evil Eye, really not doing much. And now it's going to come down to that pinch coming from Ash and Zofia. It is successful, but what isn't successful is the defense. They looked very strong, however they crumbled within seconds like a tower or a castle of paper, a pyramid of cards. Oh Jesus, oh God, a pyramid of cards. Yes,
we'll go with that. I think that works very well, but a much stronger round for Fallacy. They were able to isolate a lot of these players. Aegon getting that Candela in, starting to push in, not taking into account that Evil Eye. I think that's really what opened things up for Fallacy, because at that point, like you said, yet again, we're seeing Rocket Gaming getting the opening kill. Sox, this gamer, that's the only word I have for them, just going in and finding these opening kills, able to coordinate with Pornoff very nicely to bring it back when they do go for that push. They have somebody landing, which after Pornoff finds that first kill. Pornoff, I think that's how I'm going to say it. I think that's the better way to pronounce it. I think we'll go with that. But being able to pinch on the Goyle on Sebson, very nicely done. And at that point, it's just double peeking. It's just working together. And you know you can win your gunfight, Sox. You're 10-0, and your second entry who you're alive with is Pornoff, who is 5-3. You are in a very good position if you're in Rocket and these two are still alive.
You certainly are. This was something we were talking about before the map started, about how these players were performing beautifully in their previous game, especially when they played Coastline against Team Manic. That's where Rocket really shined, and Coastline is also going to be a second map. That's where mechanical abilities are going to be hyped to another extent. So I guess Coastline surely something to look out for, of course. But still continuing on the map of Villa so far, Rocket are showing dominance. Just looking at the scoreboard right now, just looking at the rounds won for the side of Rocket, entirely says the picture. You don't need any additional context to understand what exactly is going on. Fallacy are trying their best, of course they are. They've also done good performances against Aqualix and against the Last Resort. But for now, they are struggling. This is one of the few times I've seen Fallacy really struggling in Season 3 so far. So I think this is where, as the saying goes, diamonds are created under pressure. Fallacy has to create the diamond out of themselves. Fallacy has to become something better than they already were. Now is the time to completely amp up the velocity at which this map is traveling, and make that momentum entirely stop of Rocket and start for yourselves.
Yes, now we're seeing that double roam coming out for Fallacy now. This is just saying, okay, we're losing players very early on, let's just avoid it. Now, Sebson, in a huge position here, could get the run out, could get Ruse, but you need to time it perfectly. You need to have that 90 gunfight going on so Sebson just doesn't get flicked on. That could be absolutely huge. The C4, though, will not find the kill. This Gilderlust will come around to support. The frag grenade will take out Enk, and now Sebson could get possibly 2 kills if you can pick off Gilzeth. You might want to do that now. You know that the X-Kairos launcher is in their hands and the run out will come out. And Gilzeth is expecting it but not able to find a kill. Sox, though, finding the trade through the hatch. Very nice start coming through for Rocket. Very nice kill. And Fallacy actually picking up what I believe is the first kill in the round for the first time this game.
And not just that, man count is still equalized, but more than that, Rocket, their only hard breacher is gone. Of course, Hibana did quite a lot of damage. Vault is now open, and Fallacy make the decision of not entirely reinforcing Office to Aviator. So that means that wall is soft as well. And this eventually leads to Rocket having a lot of options when it comes to their pushes. You can see Ruse already making his way on top of Library Stairs, gets one kill, possibly looking to get another on his SAS counterpart. That is, of course, Smoke fleeing towards Bar. And now the push is coming in. Sox with another one, and that is it. ENQ, the only person, one of the only person in sight right now. And Mono, he was inside Bar, he was in a duel with Sledge, now he's up against 3 people. He got Sledge, now it's time for him to get Ash, Zofia, Ying, he'll get none, and Rocket will get round 5.
Yes, touching back on what I said there, when you have Perth and Sox alive in a 1 versus 2, that is bad enough. And then, when you put Aegon into the equation as well with those Candelas, it just makes life that a little bit harder for the defenders. So, let's take a look at this again. When you see Gilzeth getting that X-Kairos out, Sebza knows that it's there, finding that frag, Sox immediately there for the refrag, just rushing, knows what's happening. Just incredible positioning from there. Enk able to find those kills, doing their very best to stop it, but that gunfight there tagged them too much. Falling to Aegon, the plant starts to go down, and we're seeing things start to snowball for Rocket Gaming, but honestly, that's one of the better defenses we see for Fallacy on that site so far. They're gonna head to Trophy Statue though, and I think they're just trying to see what sticks at this point.
Yeah, in a way, it certainly seems like that Fallacy are trying a variety of play styles. You know, they had Seb. I mean, as a matter of fact, looking at the operators he's been playing, he played the Mozzie for a few rounds, he played the Goyo once, now he's playing the Vigil. Once again, he's playing the Vigil in round 6 as well, which is the final round of the defense of the first half, should I say. And now, I mean, yeah, really, Fallacy are trying each and everything to either win a round possibly against Rocket, which seems a bit unlikely right now. You know, we may see, I don't want to call it, I still think that Fallacy have a few opportunities. They've shown few moments of excellence. However, the entire round doesn't go in their favor. So I think all things considered, Fallacy may get a few round wins, but so far it looks like Rocket Gaming is probably going to take this map away. It is down to Fallacy to change that, and it looks like they have their mind and their guns pointed in the right direction. Seb once again with the opening kill. This time it's Ponf and not Gills. So I'd say that Fallacy, bro, this is a very good start for your team. You have the man advantage. You've gotten rid of the entry fraggers. A few drones nicked off the board as well for the side of Rocket Gaming. It's now what you embark from here. How do you capitalize on this? That's what's going to matter the most. The attackers starting their, well, embarking on their own journey to get control of Master Bedroom and execute on site. And well, let's see how that journey comes to an end.
Now, what I really like to see there is that Vigil effect. You know someone's there, you know you have to clear it out, but you don't know exactly where. Typically, this isn't really a problem for attackers with coordination, but Neox is going to make one. Aegon and Sox will both fall. Sox finally falling for the first time in 6 rounds. And this is exactly what we saw. It's just Fallacy. They're taking a lot more gunfights that they are prepared to do. You see, Nyx down below, it's very difficult to contest. Now has Diffuser and 2 more kills to their name. So they're just going to hold down here. They're going to hold this Diffuser and give the information. The rest of Fallacy, they're going to back up. Rocket looking in the worst position they have so far this early into a round. And Enk is going to make it worse. Gilzeth is going to fall, leaving it all down to Ruse, who has the Diffuser, but also has the sense of pressure knowing that the players are the nearby. Tectonic will land some shots and will be not able to get the kill onto Sebson. Fallacy are able to pick up a round and get this a 5-1 split. And I was going to say before this round all started, because it was a very quick one, let's be honest, the way the Fallacy have been playing hasn't been bad. They've been quite good, and a lot of the rounds have been close, so I could easily have seen them picking up that round, and that's exactly what they did. They had a very nice start, and they played to their strengths.
I do agree with you. You know, the game sense of Fallacy and their strategical abilities is to an extent on par with the side of Rocket Gaming. It's just mechanical abilities that they've been lacking, to be honest. We see advanced stats on our screen right here. Sox, 2.28 match rating, 2.28. Entry KD as well, completely going in favor of the players of Rocket Gaming. Cost survival rate 83%. All of this is so high, and it shows you that, strategically, I mean, statistics don't show strategy. That, I mean, yeah, of course they don't. But it just shows how far ahead Rocket Gaming are when it comes to mechanical ability in this matchup so far against Fallacy. So I think that's the main thing Fallacy can improve on, and it's not like they cannot improve on it at all. Not at all. We just saw a flawless round coming from their side. After 5 consecutive round losses, you come back with a flawless round. That's going to put a smiles on the faces of your players. That's going to motivate you a little bit. And it's just that small amount of motivation that may allow Fallacy to get more and more rounds. I'm still thinking that Rocket have this under their control, especially with them starting on defense now in the second half on a map such as Villa. But that doesn't mean that Fallacy are surely going to fail or surely going to lose. In a few maps, yes, but I still think they've got good chances in the future. That's essentially what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Now, I feel the biggest impact of that round is, like you say, Fallacy, they don't have to worry so much. They're not going into their attacking half on a defender-sided map on match point. That would be absolutely horrible. But right now, what we are seeing is a frag grenade going through Titanic, nearly getting caught by him. And Gilseth, on a very extended roam, will have to take these gunfights very early on and pushing him from massive bedroom. That's exactly what they want to do. Ruse will take some damage, but Gills is there to try and get the pinch. And look at that. That's one kill. Neox getting picked off. Gills isn't able to secure the second and Seb will get that refrag. But that's the Maverick taken off the board. And when you think about 90, when you think about that triple wall, that is a lot of problems. And Ponov ready with a C4 down in that basement, that can cause a lot of issues. If there's a Banshee and Astro, you just wait for it to be called out, you wait for it to trigger, that's a C4.
It certainly is. Oh, you called it that as the C4 kill coming out in favor of Rocket, and now Jackal's gone off the board as well, and still Fallacy Rocket Gaming are still quite aggressive with their rumors. So that means that Jackal now, without him being there, roam clearing is going to be even more difficult. So I'd assume that Rocket Gaming are just going to have their rumors situated to try and waste maximum time possible. Tonic is going on the roam clear himself. He spots Melusi, however his HP is too little and the time is too late. Ponf with double, and before you know it, Fallacy have completely fallen off the board, and it's all down to Ash. She has both her drones, she has all of her utility on board. The only problem is she doesn't have enough kills and she doesn't have enough time. 1 minute is remaining for the side of Fallacy, and they've got to come up with a plan. Otherwise, Rocket Gaming are just going to swoop this entire map. I'm thinking that that Enk is going to play it safe and is going to take these 45 seconds to possibly think over what Fallacy did wrong and how they could improve, sort of as a tactical timeout inside the round. But it looks like he's just gunning for it, just trying to get kills and trying to cause as much harm as possible. And I think he's just going for kills since the diffuser is still back on first floor. So let's see how his endeavors end up. Oh, yeah. They end up with him being dead. So a spoiler alert. But yeah, for the side of Rocket Gaming, they've just completely dominated so far. Match point in their hands, and now this means that at the very least they have secured a tie. And if Rocket Gaming win this map, and not only does that mean that Fallacy are gonna be down a map, and they'll have to try and win Coastline, but this also affects other teams. Mainly this affects TLR, or the last resort, currently spot number 3, because TLR are also at 7 points in Contenders division, and with Rocket Gaming getting an entire map, getting 3 full points in their belt, possibly more, that's going to cause trouble for TLR, and they'll have to play better in their own games to try and get some sort of initiative lined up for spot 2.
Yeah, now moving back to the game now, Trophy Statue, this is where Rocket are going to be looking to make their defense, looking to close out this first game. Now, the top team in Contenders automatically is promoted to the Major Division, so, like you said, there is a lot to play for here, and it causes a lot of issues. If Rocket are able to just very cleanly move through, looking to contest with the likes of Mkers Academy and the Last Resort. But what I want to talk about right now is, as we look at this, yes, Science is a bot, and Nova doing some incredible production work behind the scenes, making sure that everything actually looks good for us to talk to. And while we're on this site, I want to talk about the Valkyrie pick. We've got a Valkyrie, we've got a Melusi, and that just screams information, and it screams pre-placed C4s. Look at that roster. Look at the amount of C4s. 3 players who can play below and get these kills. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see. The camera will be placed in that master bedroom, and Gilzeth has the opportunity to give a lot of information and a lot of kills to the team.
Yeah, and for a bit of fun, McCready, I want to ask you this. How many C4 kills are you predicting are going to happen in this round? Maximum of 3, minimum of 0. My prediction is 2 at the very least, since the Melusi Banshee and the Valkyrie Black Eyes are going to act as proper information units. So I'm going to go with 2 C4 kills. And what do you think about it?
Now that I'm looking at the attack that Fallacy are bringing, they're going for this study side take, they've got 90 control. I'm going to say 1, they're not pushing for that master bedroom control, which kind of takes away that potential, which they might have read into, and I'm quite excited to see that. Teutonic looking for this opening kill. The Jackal scan will potentially give it to them, but it looks like they're just going to be playing it safe. Now, a lot of roamers here can still use those C4s, can still get those kills, should the information be given. Now, Punoff will hear Teutonic, but do they know where? They don't seem to. The C4 will be placed. It will go off and do a lot of damage, but it doesn't land that kill. It will not be able to do the final 25, 15 HP that they need it to. Ank, though, and, Fallacy, they've gone for a very, very careful push, but Sox is able to find Teutonic, finishing off the Zofia now. But now we're seeing Fallacy. They've been able to sneak around quite a bit. Enk able to find a kill onto Ponoff. Gilzeth playing in that master bedroom, playing a little bit off. They know where he is, and Enk just got to back up. Now, Fallacy, they're playing this very nicely for me. They're holding it. They're playing a tight game where they only expose themselves in very limited situations.
They certainly are, and they have a lot of options as well when it comes to, where they want to initiate the attack from. You've got Sledge and Jackal towards the southern side of the map. Meanwhile, you have Maverick alongside Ash coming from the north. So I guess that, if they play together, they can end up getting kills. And here's a prominent example of that. There it is. Well, Maverick gets one inside master bedroom, and Sledge opens up the anchors. And well, before you know it, Fallacy completely open up the bomb site and get their second round for themselves. A very, very well executed at the end round coming from Fallacy, one must say.
Yeah, like I was saying, I was looking at the round and I was definitely feeling Fallacy. They were playing it unconventionally, but the way that they played it, they knew that Rocket Gaming, they probably weren't going to be playing for that very strategic, very default setup. They were playing quite off. They were playing quite weirdly when it comes to positions. They were playing more for the frags rather than to delay, or rather to get information. I was quite excited to see how that execute came out, and I think they really, really delivered, because they looked at the problems with Rookie Gaming's hold. They said, alright, they're expecting a default push, we just won't do it.
Surely, yeah. And now we head into round number 9. Rocket once again choosing the same objective, a different style to an extent. Instead of Valkyrie, Gilzeth is now playing the Mozzie, another information operator. However, this gives rise to Mutant Mozzie combo, the infamous Mutant Mozzie combo. So I guess in essence, what Rocket are trying to do is just prohibit as much information of the attackers as they can. You got Mozzie Pests, you got Mute Jammers all over inside Aviator, you have them inside long hallways, landing, etc, etc. And now they're going to play this deep room once again, much like how they were doing in the previous round. In the previous round, although it wasn't such a heavily constructed room and, very strategically set up, it was more of a loose room inside the first floor, and then they embarked on it. However, when they were playing Aviator back then, there was the room towards second floor, and they had the entire second floor under their control, did Rocket Gaming. So I think they're gonna opt for something similar here. They know that Fallacy, they like to enter from office, so they have a nice crossfire set up by Mutant Mozzie as well. It's down to Fallacy how exactly do they want to attack, because the defenders, they're on the front line here. They are everywhere the attackers would want to enter from. The attackers are trying to get control of Office. Well, you have Sox, one of the best, I mean, so far the best performing player of this entire map, just holding the angle very much close to the attackers in such close quarter combat with that shotgun, along with Gilzit playing that Mozzie, holding that crossfire. Though Gilzit dies, Sox gets the trade, and before you know it, one trade has entirely happened. It's still a 4v4, but now Fallacy are going to slow down their attack a little since the entry fragger is dead.
And
Although they get another one, yeah.
And will be able to find that kill onto Gills. But the question is, how are they able to find that first kill? Monomik shutting down Sox again. That's probably one of the biggest win conditions for Fallacy at this point. Pushing into study though, Sebson, we need to talk about that. There was no refrag coming out. You just let your teammate die. The totally pushed in, got blessed with a shotgun. But you do have that two-player advantage. You do have a lot of map control at this point, and now Ruse is struggling to hold their own, struggling to hold that 90 area. Half the round is gone. This is a very strong position for Fallacy so far. They can put the squeeze on. They can get the information. They can take their time. They can do whatever they need to do. Aegon and Ruse, they're just trying to stay alive at this point, and that's the huge plays that we need to see from Fallacy. The Ash charges will come out, start doing that vertical play. Ruse, knowing that the push is going to be coming, Aegon has to support, but they don't know where to position. They don't know how they're going to play it. This is the first time I'm seeing Rocket in a position where they're not really sure what to do. And I'm really excited to see this. The plant will start to go down. It will be faked out though. Monomik going for the pre-fire instead. And Nakes will be able to find the kill onto Ruse Aegon on their own. Gonna have to try and smoke out that plant, but it won't be enough. The plant has already started going down. Now you have the shield, but you have a lot of players to deal with. Monomik will get taken out, but the refrag is coming out. And Aegon, there's too many angles to watch. Fallacy, they're looking so much stronger on their attack.
Yeah, you love to see it. Your team completely showing up in the second half when things were as dire as they could be. A 6-1 score, now a 6-3. No, not to mention, I mean, Rockets still are in advantage here, but Fallacy have good chances here. They have good opportunities. So far, Fallacy have managed to win statutory and a trophy both of the times that it has been played. But Rocket Gaming are going to choose Aviator Games. This was the first objective Rocket chose when they were defending back in round 7, and in round 10 they're going to choose it again. So I'd say that Rocket, even though they don't have an entirely similar setup, I'm seeing Aegon this time on the Maestro, another anchor, much like Smoke, although Maestro has a much better gun and his utility is going to be a bit deadlier and more information. I mean, it's going to give a lot more information basically when compared to Smoke's canisters, after all, don't give information. But okay, obvious facts aside, Rocket Gaming, it looks like they're taking things a bit seriously over here. They've messed around with all the C4 plays. They've messed around with loose roams. Now they're down to business. Now they're like, let's not give as a lot of rounds to Fallacy first of all, and let's not make this map slip out of our hands, as it is for now in our control. Fallacy, they have some initiatives. We've said it previously as well. However, Rocket can shut it down within a matter of a single round. And I think that's what they're trying to do as well. A similar room gonna come out, Gilzit on the Vigil along with Sox on the Mozzie. Front line of the defense, these guys are gonna be roaming. They're gonna try and, well, first of all, limit as much attacker information as possible using the Mozzie Pest and then get kills. That's the main thing. In the previous round, it was Fallacy's Tonic who got the opening kill, even though it was traded out almost immediately by Sox. The fact that it allowed Fallacy a bit of map control towards that Aviator area means that Fallacy can start, as soon as they see an opening, they're gonna take it. They're gonna seize that opportunity regardless of how risky it is. That's the playstyle Fallacy are playing by right now, and I think it is rewarding them. So it's all down to Rocket to entirely shut it down and to, well, shut down the map.
Yeah, and I feel this roam glaze where we're going to see this game defined. Enk and Punoff on that bottom floor. The question is, will the Melusi be spotted? Now, Gilzit can call them up to support if need be. Sox in that Mozzie position is going to be very close to, hopefully going to be playing around that 90 area, going to be close and able to back up if need be. But at the moment, this is where the damage is going to be done. Now, they know about Gilzit, but do they know about Punoff? Who will break first? Gilzit will drop and will fall into Enk, picking up their 10th kill. But Burnoff is still on that roam. Now Enk is saying, okay, we're done. We've got the roamer. We can start moving forward. We can get droning. I can do my play from down below. A plane is taking off. But that is also what Fallacy are trying to do with that opening kill. That's a lot of potential there, as long as they can keep an eye on this Melusi.
Totally. So right now pressure is mounting on the players of Rocket. They're down a man. Map control isn't entirely in their favor. Melusi is right now, again, the win condition that they may need. Like you said, she's going to be the playmaker. One right play and she's going to entirely, toss away the attack being set up or the execute being set up by the members of Fallacy right now. So she's taking her time. Enk, he wound away. He's going towards library stairs, and it's going to be a similar execute coming out from Fallacy this time around. They're gonna regroup towards library stairs. Few of the attackers trying to get control of long hallway. Enk and Nyx, it looks like they want long hall control, then they can execute. The three of the defenders playing towards that western side. You see how important bar, one of the major objectives right now, is for the side of Rocket Gaming. Their anchors, they are holding it down. They don't want to give any information, any kills to these attackers. However, the attackers are trying their best. There it is, Mozzie on the attack, Mozzie on the front line, and Mozzie always delivers, because that's what Sox does. 2 headshots, diffuser dropped, and before you know it, 25 seconds left, the members of Fallacy entirely stranded without any hope whatsoever.
Yes, Enk will go down. Tonic will follow very quickly. Just Sox picking up their third. Now it's sold out to Sebson on this vault area. The Maverick line of sight will help, but it's not going to save you. Time is ticking down, and Bonif will close it all out. That is our first match being taken 7-3 in favor of Rocket Gaming. Now, you said you definitely were thinking, okay, now they're stepping them. Now they're saying, no more messing around. We're going to win. And that's exactly what they did. They had a much tighter defense. They had much more coordinated. Gilseth getting that first kill, and then I think Fallacy not being that careful when it comes to another roamer, saying, okay, we got Vigil, let's go and push. Then you see Enk being taken out by main stairs. Then you see Mozzie just being able to push down that 90, finding the kill on the Maverick and the Jackal. They just weren't ready for it. You had 2 people looking at one hard wall, and nobody covering that long angle where, let's be honest, I saw that swing coming from a mile away.
We all did see, and even after, Sox got the first kill, I think it just came down to, in my eyes, which was a fair gunfight between, I believe it was Mozzie and Jackal. Yes, Mono was playing the Jackal. So Mozzie and Jackal, after Mozzie got that initial kill onto Maverick, even after that, Jackal knew about Mozzie's location. I believe the call out, or even if the call out didn't go that quickly, Jackal still knew that Mozzie was pushing here. He could have surely heard the shots coming, from a mile away, like you said, and his teammate dying right in front of him. He had the better gun as well. However, he just couldn't capitalize on that, and he just couldn't get that trade in time. And that meant that in a matter of 2 seconds, 2 of the attackers dead, the diffuser dropped, and what followed was just the domino effect of Fallacy becoming more and more desperate in hopes of winning that round. Because again, Rocket Gaming, they were on match point. If Fallacy lost another round, the map was out of their hands. So Fallacy tried everything in book. They started pushing. However, the positioning of the players of Rockets just far outplayed them. And well, entirely, Rocket Gaming far outplayed Fallacy, and Villa came to an end at 7-3 in favor of Rocket. Rocket secures the second place for now, and if they win Coastline, well, they're going to have that second place spot in the Contenders division for a long, long time.
Yeah, so Villa being taken away very quickly. Now we're going to be heading over to Fallacy's pick of Coastline very shortly. Fallacy, there's a lot of good things coming out of that first map. I want to see you capitalize on it when we move into our second. But before we do, we will be taking a short break. Make sure not to go anywhere, but get a snack or get a drink. But make sure you're back here in what looks like 7 minutes, because we will be right back with the best in the ECS.
can't see through your skin. I'm not your guardian. I can't see through your skin. Can't see through my skin.
Hello and welcome back to the ECS Contender Division. Today we have got Fallacy going up against Rocket Gaming. Now, our first map saw Rocket Gaming take it 7-3. Now, we could have seen a very, very quick 7-1 or 7-2, but I feel Fallacy, they really stepped up in those last couple of rounds. The question is, how much more could they bring it back, CCV?
Oh, that's a tough question to ask because there's so many different factors that have to be considered. First of all, Coastline was the pick of Rocket Gaming. Fallacy, they had banned Villa as their first pick when they had played against Aqualix in their first game of Contenders division. So one could say that Fallacy weren't as well versed with this map. Maybe not. It's still a prevalent map. So I think that's unlikely. The second more prominent reason was Rocket Gaming were just winning their ones and winning their gunfights. Looking at entirely how essentially the entire map went, even though statistics do say it was kind of equal. Out of the entire 10 rounds that we witnessed, in 6 of them it was Rocket Gaming that got the initial kill. In 4 of them it was Fallacy. So that's a difference of 60-40, quite equal. Yet it was late round kills, it was late round executions coming from people such as Sox, coming from people such as Aegon, getting those roamers out of the way, executing into the side, killing those anchors. That was something that Sox was excellent at in the initial rounds of Rocket Gaming, and after that Rocket Gaming were just able to build upon that and they just won the round. So Fallacy, one major thing that has to be considered is gunfights, especially now that we're heading into Coastline.
Yes, exactly that. Now, we were talking about the strats and more the mechanics, because you said, they're quite even when it comes to strats. In game sense, it's just the mechanics is where Rocket Gaming seemed to be picking up, because, let's be honest, Fallacy, they didn't do that much wrong. They did do a few things where they do need to improve, but overall, when they played their strats, if they played it properly and coordinated it around the Rocket Gaming players, they do quite well. But if they just ran in and tried to win their gunfights, they'd struggle. And we're going on to Coastline, and, CCV, remind us of the main meta around Coastline.
Coastline, I think, regardless of what the main meta is, these teams mainly, in my eyes, are going to focus heavily, first of all, on roam clear. That's the main thing we saw coming from Villa. And of course, on a small map such as Coastline, roam clear is far easier. The roamers, they don't have a lot of room to work with the attackers. They can start pushing in, they can start holding angles, they can be aggressive, and they can be rewarded for that playstyle. After you have done roam clear, that is where both Rocket Gaming and Fallacy are going to go heavily after vertical control and vertical lines of sight. That is possibly one of the major themes of Coastline that we are probably going to witness right now. And there are things that I say because of that. So first of all, in Coastline, all bomb sites except for Penthouse and Theatre, which is on the 2nd floor, are quite prominent. You see hookah billiards almost every day. Same goes for kitchen and service entrance. Even Blue Bar and Sunrise is played at a fairly regular extent. So with that considered, Blue Bar and Kitchen, these two objectives, these two bomb sites are going to be important. And Fallacy and Rocket Gaming, they love to bring out vertical players. When Fallacy played Coastline against Aqualix, Fallacy out of the 12 rounds, sorry, when Fallacy played against Aqualix, the best of 2, in the 12 rounds of attack Fallacy had, in 11 of them, they had brought out the sledge. In Coastline, Fallacy brought out sledge and buck, and the same went for Rocket Gaming. Even they like vertical control. So that's going to be one of the major themes all of us will have to keep our eyes out for once we head into Coastline, and we already have.
Yes, Ace being taken away doesn't really surprise me. Typically, you'd see Habana, or Habana being that ban as an attacker, or a Capital Blackbeard. Those are the typical bans that we're expecting to see on here. But the Ace screams out about that quad wall. And maybe if you're going for main lobby, you can easily throw the Selmas onto stock for a kitchen service. But Thatcher will be taken away by the Rocket Gaming team. And that makes quite a bit of sense to me. They're thinking about their defense there. They're thinking about the ability Thatcher has to just speed everything up. And when you can just take away utility, even for a short amount of time, you can push in. You don't have to worry about Selmas. You don't have to worry about Maestro cameras. You can push in when you're ones, and I don't think Rocket really want that. Valkyrie being taken away as well. It's pretty typical for Coastline. There's a lot of nooks and crannies where you can hide those cameras.
And I think the fact that Rocket Gaming were also, really sorting after and going after getting those C4 kills, having that Valkyrie information on the floor above, placing C4s below. After that, Rocket Gaming love to pick off those attackers just completely caught off guard. So that's also one of the reasons you mentioned the more prominent one with Valkyrie just being so useful on a map such as Coastline, where you can get so much information due to the smaller nature of this map. And finally, you have Mute being banned, alright, and an unexpected ban coming from the side of Fallacy, something that is I'm really not sure what to think about that, since they are defending first. But yeah, let's see how it plays out. To be honest, I'm not sure what exactly do they have in mind for that. Maybe they just saw Rocket Gaming were playing a lot of Mute and Mozzie on Villa, and they wanted to deny that once we head into the second half of Coastline.
I mean, I understand that line of thinking, but then I'm also thinking more towards, think about your hookah. There's a lot of, if you can get a mute on the board, there's a lot of places where you can just shut down information gathering. Same on kitchen, where we're heading now. And honestly, I actually, this makes sense to me. And I'm surprised we don't see, I'm not surprised we don't see it more, because there are more standard bans that we'll see coming out, but that wall, you have to bring a bandit, and you have to bring a cave. You have to expose it to that vertical plate as well as that mute jammer. And the mute jammer doesn't also deal with drones. So you have to bring that Mozzie, as Sebson's doing, and you have to be careful. You can't just passively shut them off. That's what I really like about this ban. But what I'm seeing in the lineup is a very heavy roam from Fallacy. I want to see a couple of players in that penthouse, making sure nothing really falls when they're playing theater. And then, as you can see, Tonic over here on that roam in Sunrise. The Buck is going to start opening things up in the form of Aegon, and just making a very strong announcement that the round has started.
He certainly will be, and for now, Rocket Gaming coming in from the western side of the map, majority of the players, they're going to take control of office, and it looks like they're not really going for a vertical roam here so far. So the hopes of Fallacy in trying and shutting down the attack towards the side of Penthouse and Theatre isn't really going to precede its expectations, as Aegon starting off with a brilliant kill onto the Melusi. There it is. The first kill goes off. Aegon is well traded out in a down but not out state. Jaeger is pushing him. Jaeger confirms, and now Jaeger's the only one who can confirm further kills for the side of Fallacy. That won't be the case anymore. Rocket Gaming have good information. They have crossfires built in as well. And the best thing that Fallacy can do right now is try and hope for kills, because otherwise this man disadvantage is really going to bite them in the back.
Yes, we saw Nix a number of times being that opening kill, giving that opportunity to the team to find those frags. Now, Enk, they're feeling the pressure on site. They're feeling that they're getting towards this jungle area. They're starting to push. They're starting to get information and get ready for this push. You're still two players down. A player down. Enk is starting to move forward. That angle is one we've seen from Sox before. That's an angle that can look right all the way over to that rotate and can shut down a lot of movement. And we've seen Sox just pick up some incredible kills last time we were here on Coastline. But, Enk, do you hear that player moving around? Yes, you do. You're going to be looking, you take out the Gemini, but there's somebody there to capitalize upon it immediately, and you will be taken out by Gilzeth playing nearby. But Gilzeth is also able to shut down Sebs, and now it's making it very difficult for Monomic, yes, that's it. He's able to find a kill at the bonus, but will get traded out by Ruse and Rocket. Very nice roam clear. That's exactly what you said they needed to do at the end of our last map. They needed to focus on the roam clear, and, well, it went very well for Rocket, let's say that.
Certainly so, subverting the expectations that we had from Rocket Gaming when it came to their roam clear, and more importantly, that Fallacy had for their roam clear. Fallacy were really expecting something along the lines of a second floor take, a lot of vertical gameplay. However, this entire round was played out laterally. This entire round was played out mainly inside the first floor and not really encroaching deep inside second floor. So I would see that it was something, yeah, Rocket Gaming tried out of the board. Looking at even looking at Aegon once again playing the buck, even I was really convinced that he was gonna take control of Penthouse Theater. We are going to see a lot of vertical pressure come up from the side of VIP on towards kitchen on first floor, but none of that happened. Rocket Gaming, they were more invested in getting those lateral kills, like we mentioned, getting those roamers already on first floor of the board. And after the roamers were dead, after Neox was the first casualty, that wasn't much. Tonic got a trade onto Buck, but he proceeded to die as well. And then Enk had to step up. He was playing the Maestro, supposed to be an anchor, but the position that Enk and the entirety of Fallacy were in, there wasn't much to do. They had to search for kills. They had to try their best. They did try their best, but still it did not go in their favor. So let's hope for a little positive, a more positive and a much better round 2 heading in once again to kitchen and service.
Yeah, and I feel that early opening kill coming out from Aegon was absolutely huge. Getting that bullet hole, getting those defenders aggressive, getting them riled up, because there we saw Tonic finding the kill onto Aegon, yes, but was picked off immediately. Now Sox, they're aware that somebody is playing over towards this Aqua area. You need to take care of them. A lot of pressure being put on towards the Sunrise area where there are the roamers, and Sox is just going to land a shot onto Sebson. Just saying no, the Vigil being taken off the board. Ruse, though, will follow very quickly as Nix is able to get that kill, but that's only 1-for-1. You can still flush out this Melusi, and if you position correctly, like we saw last time, you can just shut them out completely. You box them in, they have to fight their way out, and essentially, they have to attack the attackers. The C4 will go out, will not find its mark, and Neox is just trying to waste time, but there it is. And is able to find a kill onto Sonic, shutting down a huge player so far, but now Aegon. Aegon's going to be trying to pinch this Melusi. He's unable to do so just yet. The pre-fire will go up, but doesn't land the shot. Neox definitely feeling the pressure now as they're boxed in, but Tonic is there to help. Bonaf will get knocked out, and this roam going much better. Yes, Neox has fallen now, but the amount of time, the amount of attackers have just been wasted. Gills and Aegon, they need to make something happen.
They certainly do, and chances are slim for Rocket Gaming winning this round. They're going to try their best to enter from the kitchen entrance, which is already going to be tough. Maestro currently rules the side of the eastern side of the map towards reception and towards the long hall. If any attacker dares to enter from there, they're going to be met with the Alda, and as we know, the Alda sings, the Alda soars, and the Alda kills. So that option is probably off the table for Rocket Gaming. They have to try and get kills. They have to try and lend up opportunities from kitchen. They have a lot of crossfires. They have a lot of line of sights. Only thing is, they need to work on this. They need to capitalize off of that. Gilzit going the braver route of trying to kill the Maestro is successful on that. And now the pressure is divided. Rocket Gaming, they aren't really sure where the attack is going to come from. It can come from long hall. It can come from kitchen entrance. It can also come from bathroom. So now Rocket Gaming are really shining since the attack is in full fashion. Tonic the only one. The roles have switched. The attackers are the anchors now, and the defender is outside the objective, hoping for a kill, hoping for an opportunity.
Yes, the plant will go down, but Aegon picks up their third and is able to shut things down in favor of Rocket. Now, very nicely done from them. And I think the biggest problem for Fallacy was Enk got a bit too hungry. Peeked over by Gills, and that just wasn't it. At that point, we saw Aegon and Gills, they coordinated, they moved together, they had the pressure of one playing on long, one playing on door. They pinched out Smoke. They take out Monomic. Then it's like you say, all down to Tonic to clutch it out, and that was a very nice that was very nicely brought back by them. The coordination was there, the gunplay was there, and just the the peace of mind to know we can win these gunfights. Let's just go for it. Let's not just run in saying, oh, the round's already over, let's just end it. That was very nicely done from them. And that all started with just pushing out this sunrise.
I think it is still difficult to judge what exactly is going wrong for Fallacy. At a few points, they're certainly losing their gunfights, but then again, like you mentioned, early into the round, Fallacy were playing brilliantly. A small credit to, should I say, small shout out to Melusi Nix for just holding down Sunrise Bar, wasting, like you had said, the time, manpower, and utility of the attackers so much, so further deep, it crunched their pockets that the attackers didn't have a lot to go up for a proper execute. There were 2 attackers remaining against 3 defenders. The attackers, no hard breaches left. Sure, the attackers did have line of sight. Buck was able to make quick work of that kitchen to long hall wall, and he was able to completely destroy it, completely dismantle it. But even after that, the defenders could have played it safe. It was the defenders who had an influx of so much utility, smoke canisters, Maestro Evil Eyes, and whatnot, not to mention shields, etc., etc. So with all that, the fact that Fallacy still lost is just very, very disappointing. I think they surely do need to improve further and further, especially how they want to play the late round, because early on they can be in a very advantageous position. Even towards the middle stages, they can be in good scenarios, they can have themselves inside good scenarios, but it's towards the end that they lack. And well, in this case, it's from the start that they're lacking a bit, since Aegon once again with the opening kill. Fallacy, for the 3rd consecutive round, they have taken the opening casualty. This time it's Seb again.
Yeah, taking away the Mozzie home game going, because let's be honest, that's how you want to play it. And now the vertical play is coming through. Aegon can look, see if there's somebody below trying to come up that main stairs, or those white stairs, sorry. And now a lot of control in favor of the attackers. They do not have the diffuser, but with the man advantage and time advantage, they have a lot to work with. They are able to get these cameras going down. They're able to get the flank cams. They have a lot of work that they can do and a lot of freedom to do it. Monomic will go for the peek over towards that luggage though. Sox giving him a little bit of damage, saying, nah, we don't want any of that. And now the push is getting ready to come out. Sox getting a nice position on that aqua balcony. That's exactly what they need. Aegon going for the vertical play. This is a very nice execute coming out, but Aegon's going to get taken down by Nix. Playing down below in that courtyard, hasn't been spotted by anybody. Now Ruse is able to stay alive, but the damage is done. The buff is the player. That was the kill to get. Nioxa will take some damage and will get refragged, keeping that 1-player advantage on. But they've drawn off kills. They've drawn away that player, and 50 seconds on the clock. They can go for a push, but it's going to be a lot harder. They don't have the vertical control. Monomic is still here, holding all those canisters.
Once again, it's down to the anchors. The anchors, this time, they have to play it right. They know where the attackers are. It's the attackers in such a desperate condition. You look at the defenders, they have all the angles covered. Maestro is watching long hallway. Jaeger is watching cool vibe stairs. Smoke is sitting comfortably, holding any and all pushes coming from Aquarium. So no matter what the attackers try, they're going to be shredded, and that's exactly what they are. Beautiful crossfire held from the defenders, and that means that Pont is the only person surviving against the guns of Maestro and Jaeger. He'll try his best. He has 13 seconds remaining, but the defenders are in a bit of a hurry to end the round and to get their first round, and of course they do. This was an excellent display coming out from Fallacy. Nix, even though he's been the martyr in many of the rounds, he played the Melusi in round 2 inside Sunrise. In this case, he played Melusi inside of Courtyard. He got 1 kill. He died. It did not matter. The sacrifice that he made for his entire team, the amount of time he wasted of Rocket Gaming for them to just not be able to launch a proper attack was quite well. Just having a quick look at the statistics right now, even though it is very, very early into the entire matchup, we've only seen 3 rounds play out. Aegon still on the entry frag this time. It's not on to Sox. Sox is still performing well, mind you, but Aegon has taken the responsibility upon himself. Gilzit, everyone from Rocket is playing good, yet Fallacy have chances of, equalizing the score, to say.
Yeah, I feel, looking at this, Nix, I want to talk more about that. That bot kill was absolutely huge. Really stepping up in a huge way for the team so far. Yes, Enk has got the top amount of kills, Sonic following behind, but Nix, you're playing really well. You're getting the impact kills. You're not necessarily getting all of them, but the ones you get are absolutely huge, and the role that you play is honestly, it's key in a lot of the rounds that we've seen so far, especially on that bottom floor. And on Villa, sorry, well, we saw Nix on the bottom floor, there we go, using the vertical play, able to find these kills, and now we see Fallacy going to their tertiary bomb site in the 4th round. Nix, I'm very excited to see what you do here, checking for the cameras, and looking for the spawn peak. Oh, very naughty. Isn't going to be sticking it, though. We'll just be saying, alright, you know what? We're playing against a team of people who just know how to aim. Let's leave it. Let's let it hold back, and we'll save it for another time. So pulling back, not the wrong decision there for me.
Oh no, certainly not. And Nix is one of the people who needs to stay alive the longest. Doesn't matter if he gets the kills or he doesn't. The fact that a roamer like him can maximize the time alive in a round is huge, especially on a map such as Coastline, where it is so unforgiving for the roamers, where the roamers have so little time on board. Their life expectancy is majorly about 45 seconds. After that, the attackers have control. Even after that, the fact that Nix can stay alive, possibly even get a kill or two, is tremendous. It's very, very good. Even now, he's at reception. He's on the front line of the fence. He's trying his best to catch the attackers in a way. Maybe a C4 kill, a nice lurk play would be amazing coming from his side. No matter what he tries, I mean, it's probably going to be quite... it can go very much in his favor just because of the positioning he has right now.
Now, talking about that positioning, Nix has a great opportunity to try and catch aim off guard, because playing in office you can use that vertical play. However, it's not looking great. The C4 will go off, but Sox is there to get the kill, and suddenly you've got that opening frag in favor of Rocket. Now Sox, yet again, we talk about them a lot, incredible players so far, getting a lot of opportunities for the team. And this is another one of them. Sebson, though, is able to use that MP5 on the Wamai to find Aegon and end this soft breaching hell that is taking place for Fallacy. They're able to shut them down. Now there's another player on top. But now it's going to be a lot harder to open the sightlines. They're going to have to get Puddeth in there or to get Sox. And they have to use their utility. Those Maestro cameras are going to be a lot safer if we see Rocket commit to that soft destruction, which is going to be the case. Sox will find another kill on Teutonic, though, and be able to find that frag and get another player advantage in favor of Rocket. They're very much in control of this round, it feels, and at the moment, it seems like Fallacy, they're just trying to find ways to bring it back. And Sebson isn't going to be the person to do it, as they will get knocked down by Puddeth. But Enk, yet again, playing on this roam, and I'm not exactly sure why we're seeing the roaming Maestro. However, as we see the blue bar push, that's exactly why. Enk's able to find a kill. Monomic able to follow up with Ruse as well. Now, Puddeth is going to get exposed to Enk, but isn't going to land the shots. Neither of them are. Enk rushes back to site, will fall, but time has been wasted. 6 seconds, and it's just not going to happen. You have to get the diffuser, and yeah, there we go. Sebson's able to finish it up, getting the revive. A very nice late round play by Fallacy, just picking them apart during the push.
Oh, they picked apart very, very nicely. And I think I'm going to go back to a point I was saying earlier, is the role of Nix and him playing the Melusi right now. Him essentially being a martyr. Even in this round, though he was the first casualty, I still want to look at how long he can stay alive. That was one of the things I was talking about earlier. And how the longer you stay alive as a roamer, the longer you create ruckus for the attackers, the longer, you are a nuisance for your opponents, the better the chances of your team essentially prevailing in the round nonetheless. You look at a round such as round number 1, which was, in that round, the opening kill was Aegon was the opening killer, and well, the casualty was Nix. That round, Nix died roughly at the 2-minute 25-second mark, which is essentially 35 seconds into the action phase. However, you look at a round such as round number, let's take round 3 as an example, where even though the first casualty was Seb, it was at 2 minutes 20 seconds. The fact that, Nix had really held down the entirety of Sunrise Bar playing the Melusi, and he stayed alive, I believe, till the 1 minute 30 seconds mark or something. The fact that he stayed alive that long meant that in the late round, since the middle round had already passed off, in the late rounds when the attackers tried executing, of course they didn't have enough utility on board because they spent a majority amount of that clearing out Nyx. They didn't have a lot of information due to so many of those drones being destroyed by Nyx. And a few of the times they didn't even have the manpower since Nyx got 1 or 2 kills. So even though, like you had said, he may not be the person with the highest kills, that right now for Fallacy is of course Enk, man's a beast. But still, Nyx is playing probably the most important role right now, the most influential role as a flex for this entire defense.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty strong sentiment that I can wholeheartedly agree with. Now, Bunuf is going to be getting very early access into this VIP. Now, it looks like they've avoided going for the roam clear and said, right, we will just get to work. We have had issues with the roamers being able to pick us apart. We will just get this clear open. We will get these kills, and we will distract them and give them just a pace that they're not used to. And with Ash, the 6 total self-destruction devices, that's going to be very, very, very simple to do. But Nyx, as you say, is playing that Vase with Tonic in support, can go over to Peter and can pull a hole if they so desire, getting line of sight onto 90. And honestly, I'm liking the passive play from Fallacy. They're waiting for the later round. Now, Pulnuff knows somebody's there, but to get the kill, they're going to have to commit. And that's what Ruse is going to do. Able to find Enk picking off the Maestro. A huge kill to start with. In my opinion, just as good as if you were able to get the smoke.
Oh, certainly. I mean, Enk has been the highest fragger for the side of Fallacy so far, and now with him playing that roaming Maestro, a kill such as this is highly beneficial, to say the very, very least. That's an understatement right there, and the follow-up is even better. Now it's down to Monomic to create some sort of play, to create some sort of win condition. He's playing very, very close quarter combat. He spots the Zofia, downs the Zofia, and gets that frag. However, his entire team has crumbled right before his eyes. While he was busy with Zofia, the attackers was busy with the other 4 defenders essentially. And before you know it, Rocket Gaming entirely swooping the floor out of the feet of Fallacy, and they have the advantage. Now we are heading into round 6, a much closer match, I must say, than compared to Villa. However, for now, still a bit in favor of Rocket.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that round from Monomic, seemingly a bit 1 step forward, 2 steps back there. Like you said, focused a lot on that Zofia, trying to keep that open up, but at that point, Sox has already got a kill. Aegon had found a kill as well. The vertical play was really putting the pressure on. I don't think Fallacy were ready for that kind of pressure. I liked how Nyx was playing it, but it didn't really have that impact that you were talking about a lot. Staying alive, but not drawing any of the attackers to you. You might as well be dead at that point. I mean, you're playing it safe, and I said I like that, but you need to draw them. You need to at least say, okay, I'm here. What are you going to do about it? Bullet hole it and play deep hookah if you have to, or like get a melee hole and just say, we are here, you clear us out or you die. That's not what happened. Nyx was picked up very early on, and like you said, we saw Monomic getting 1 kill onto Zofia. It took a while, and by that time the rest of the site had crumbled around them. So going over to this kitchen service again, there are some changes that we will need to see. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to be heading to Hookah Billiards, I do believe. I am sorry for that mistake, but still, what changes do we need to see? Last time we saw Tonic and Enk really step up on this site.
We did, yeah. And I think the previous time, even the late round was so well performed and well executed from the defenders. I say executed I just mean that, they held down the side. They held all entries. That was the main thing. In this case, yet again, 2 kills, as a matter of fact, going in favor of Rocket Gaming. Before you know it, Nyx has also fallen off the board. Within 30 seconds of the round, already 3 people have died. I mean, which exact game is this? Is this some sort of battle royale with 100 people? How have so many people died within such a short span? And I think Fallacy tried something that you were mentioning. They tried being a bit more aggressive. However, this was just... there's no adjective to define what happened here.
there's a difference between playing aggressive and just having 4 people offside trying to swing. Now, Enk is probably asking the same question you had. How have 3 people died immediately? And Enk is going to answer with 2 kills off their own. But there's just too many players, too much utility coming through. Enk, you were in a clutch situation from the first 30 seconds. And when Rocket have that kind of advantage, it's too high a mountain. Very nicely done finding those 2 kills, one onto the Ash and then one onto the rotate, but the 4-2 split will be going in favor of Rocket, who go onto their defense. And last time I saw them here, they really, really enjoyed the defensive positioning. They enjoy their mirror setup over towards Theater. They enjoy having that roaming and picking apart the attackers before they get any real advantage. So that's what I think we're going to see quite a bit of.
Alright, now in front of our screens we have the statistics, and just one thing I want to point out to everyone. You look at the statistics, more specifically the entry KD for the side of Rocket Gaming, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Essentially, in sum, that means 6-0, which again, 6 out of the 6 rounds we have seen so far, all 6 of them, guess what? It has still been Rocket Gaming getting the entry kill. Sure, in rounds 3 and 4, Fallacy managed to turn that around and they still managed to win the round, yet the entry kills, one of the most influential kills, you know, on average in a round, probably the entry kill is the most influential. I say on average, like for example, if a round ends in a 1v1, then of course the final kill is the most important. However, you know, getting the entry kill in your favor really boosts your chances of winning. This was something I believe Kangaroo Kenny was mentioning when we had our cast together. He mentioned a statistic, I forgot exactly by how much, but if a team gets gets an entry frag, especially on a map such as Coastline, you're going to be extremely happy and you're going to be extremely beneficial progressing further and further into that round. So I'd say Rocket, they've done an excellent job. Fallacy, they need to step their mechanical game up. They need to step up their front line, whether it's their attack, whether it's their defense, their entry fraggers, their roamers. It needs to improve.
Yeah. Now, CCV, I want you to take a very nice look at this mirror setup. We're going to see it a few times if Rocket are going to employ the same kind of strategies as I saw last time when they played Manic. Now, Aegon will be able to back up just a little bit just in time before Enk is able to find that kill, but this roam game is able to just shut down a lot of my freedom of movement. Now, Aegon will find a camera, but there's not very much flank potential there as you have Ponov and Gills all playing towards that area. Realistically, the option for Fallacy is to go for a side push, but then you expose yourself to the vertical, and Sux is on that roam into Sunrise looking to find the kill onto Tonic. But taking their time, will be holding back. Tonic just not really aware that Sux is there, and I don't think Nyx is either as the runout comes out, finding the kill. Very nicely done. Sux, though, will hear that Nyx is there as well. Now, Monomec will push forward and is able to find the kill on a wallbang onto Aegon. What a shot. Sux, though, finds Enk and the refrag will be brought out. The plant is going down in a 3v3.
Okay, alright. Uni All-Stars, okay, team walked into the side, they planted the diffuser, never mind. But still, I think Rocket, it's difficult to predict exactly what is going to happen now. Even though Fallacy, their attackers are severely disconnected right now, but they still have a line of sight on the diffuser. Ying from up above, from VIP, and Nyx just holding this angle from outside the door. He's going to get into that gunfight, and the people of Rocket simultaneously are going to attempt to disable that diffuser. The attempt is going to go in vain as the timer is slowly taken down. 11, 10 seconds. It takes 7.5 seconds to disable the diffuser, and in this case, Rocket, even though they tried their best, it's going to be exceptionally close right now.
No. It's not happening.
Oh,
a little bit too late there for the players to get on top, but a very nice hold coming out, and Monomic, a Herculean effort, a huge way to step up for the team, finding that kill all the way from VIP door. You are aiming for, I believe it's Pornov, yes, but you're able to shoot all the way through, take out that mirror. There's a lot of potential if you got that kill a lot earlier on, yes, but like you said, when the plant went down, Nyx, Anton, and I believe it was Sebson, they were struggling quite a bit to stay alive. Monomic was still on that top floor, pre-firing it the best they could. Fell at the end, yes. However, delayed enough time. And that's what it's all about. So we're going to see Rocket Gaming going back to kitchen service. They're going to be bringing a warden here, probably because they see the Ying, but they've decided the Jaeger will deal with it a lot more effectively.
Once again, with strategies such as these, all of them have very I even don't know how to put this into words. They have such different pros and cons that at one point I was really like, okay, the fact that Rocket Gaming have 3 roamers, which were Melusi, Mozzie and Mira on Penthouse, and they were completely expecting the attackers, and the attackers in a way fell into that. They had so many drones of theirs wasted in that Penthouse and theater area just trying to get rid of Melusi, Mozzie and Mira. But at the same time, there was such a major con that thankfully for the side of Fallacy, they spotted out, is the fact that only one person was in sight at the time. I realized I made a mistake. Mozzie was actually playing towards Sunrise. He wasn't with Melusi and Mira. It was some other person. My apologies, but Mozzie was still roaming. So, yeah. But even apart from that, there was only one anchor. That's the main thing. And then Fallacy just acted on that, and they acted beautifully. So I'd say that for the side of Rocket Gaming, they've had their pros, they've had their cons, but this time they're a bit more careful, playing towards in the objective. The attackers are going to try their best. They're going to take a page out of Rocket's book themselves, bringing the Ying, just going for that YOLO execute. Ying is pushing inside of kitchen. She will be punished, and so will all of the attackers, with Seb the only person remaining.
Yes, holding this position now, 2 minutes on the clock, and Sux is just going to go for the peak. So, a very quick round. I think the Ying and Lion were all meant to come together in a beautiful opportunity for the attackers, but it wasn't meant to be. Sux was able to find the Lion, the Candela was called out, and it looked like Rocket decided after that last round they wanted to bunker in quite a bit more. So I think it's just the changes really in playstyle just really went right into Rocket Gaming's lap, and they will be 2 rounds from closing it away, and they could do it if they pick up the next couple of rounds. They could echo the same scoreline of Villa, but a much closer game. I think I have to agree with you on that.
Oh, certainly. I think that it's going to be, it is still close. I cannot really truly rule out Fallacy of this. And in a way, I do want to see Fallacy win this. I'm not really, supporting them at all, but for the sake of the entire Contenders division. This was something we mentioned in the pre-show. We were talking about this in Villa as well. Rocket getting 6 total points is not only going to affect Rocket Gaming Fallacy, it's also going to affect the last resort, currently on spot number 3 in the Contenders, and to an extent even Mkers Academy and all of the teams who are in the positions 5 to 8 in the Contenders. So Rocket with this entire 6-point win, it's just going to tilt position number 2 or spot number 2 in the Contenders so heavily in their favor that I think it's going to be very difficult for teams such as Fallacy and TLR to play catch up, and that's something I don't want. What everyone loves is a close competition. So even now on Coastline we have this close competition, and let's hope Fallacy come out on top.
Yeah, now Gills looking for a very early opening pick, is unable to get it just yet from this Sunrise window. The question is, will it go for it again? Will the Fallacy team players be looking at it? No, they won't. Now you'll see Gills start to reinforce, realizing you've given away a position, you're going to have somebody trying to deal with you, and that's the name of the game as a roamer. That's where we saw Nyx's success. And now we're seeing Fallacy, they're taking their time. They're not overexposing, maybe to the point of they're not really there to act upon the information. Now, yes, you see the line scan going off, but if Gilzeth was to just walk out right now, nobody would be there to act upon the information. Now Nyx is pushing forward. Gilzeth is able to find a kill onto the Lion from a very long angle with Enk getting that refrag. Gilzeth falling down, but Sox yet again is there. Now it's 2 minutes on the clock and a 3 versus 3 as Enk's able to find a kill onto Sox as well. But the roam clear has claimed the lives of 3 players on either side. Ruse able to make that 3. So this is not looking very good for Fallacy right now, looking to try and keep it from going to match point. But Nyx is below with these frag grenades, has the information, has cameras to look and find out what's going on, but very much alone at this point and trying to grasp at straws, it feels.
And the entirety of Attack of Fallacy, which is just two people remaining, Monomic and Nyx, like you mentioned, it seems a bit disconnected right now. The attackers, they have to coordinate a push together almost. We have Monomic towards the hookah balcony. He's going to try and create some opportunities, some chances. They want to rule out the Mira playing, the Melusi playing inside of hookah. After that, only then can they start executing. But for now, it's a very, very difficult job. Mono all by himself cannot do it all by himself. Like I just said, there are so many crossfires, so many lines of sight. He needs the support of Sledge. Sledge is going to come up from Cool Vibe stairs. Sledge is going to get one kill as well. And now Melusi swings wide, but Sledge prevails nonetheless. And before you know it, all the crossfires, all the angles, all the line of sights are now going in favor of Fallacy. They have the man advantage. They have the diffuser. They have the time on board as well. It's all down to Aegon to prevent this round from going in Fallacy's hands.
The C4 will find killer onto Monomic, shutting down the plant and putting Nyx in a very difficult position. But Aegon's able to find that frag, and Rocket Gaming will go to match point. And there's a lot to break down from that round. And I think the biggest thing we have to talk about is how long Nyx was allowed to stay alive on those stairs.
Yeah. Again, I think, in a way, I'm sure that Rocket Gaming, the players would have been aware of Nyx being alive, especially with one specific play he made. He was, of course, playing the Sledge. He had his frag grenade on him, and he tried killing the Melusi from below, from Sunrise, using his frag grenade onto the ceiling. However, that didn't kill Melusi, and more importantly, like you just said, it should have made Sledge's intentions clear, Sledge's future plans on executing even clearer as to what exactly he's going to try and do. So for the fact that Sledge was able to just waltz up Cool Vibe stairs, hold a passive angle, meant that it was a bit poorly played for Rocket Gaming. Granted, there was a lot of smokes coming out from Jackal. Jackal was also holding the crossfire himself inside hookah. So it wasn't very, very easy for Melusi to just swing very, very wide. But at the same time, Melusi tried, and that was just a very, very poor display of gunfight. Melusi swung very wide, as a matter of fact. And that kill was just poor. That's it. That's the only word I have for that, to describe that play.
I think that makes a lot of sense. But we're seeing Rocket, they're on match point now. They are ready to close this whole thing out. Yet again, as we saw on Villa, the 7-3 school line coming into play. Potentially. Fallacy, they are trying to shut it down, but Aegon has got a very aggressive angle, looking for this opening kill, looking just to really put the nail in the coffin here, being able to step up a lot more in terms of frags, as we saw before, but now Punoth looking to get that C4 out. We're seeing a very aggressive playstyle from Rocket. They want this round to be won.
They certainly do. They are all business, much like how they were doing in Villa after they had lost a few rounds to Fallacy. Rocket Gaming were like, let's shut this down. They eventually did. In this case, Fallacy, looks like they're going for a direct execute. These never go the way of the attackers, although in this case, they've gone off to a good start. The diffuser's already going down. Monomic planting, and there it is. He's in the line of sight of the defenders. However, there it is. Finally, the kill comes in by Ruse, but the diffuser is good. For the defenders, for the attackers now, they tried their best and it's out of their hands. The diffuser stranded, and so are the hopes of Fallacy winning this round, possibly this map.
Yes, and if they don't win this round, they won't win this map. They have to try and push overtime. The Lion Scamper Punoth is there to try and shut it down. The Melusi Banshee is going to give away the position, but Tonic is just about to survive, but the smoke canister is going to shut them down. That's going to be Lion going down and getting taken out. It's all down to Enk, and that's going to be it. Punoth finishing yourself and finishing off Fallacy. Rocket Gaming. I played too much Rocket League. Rocket Gaming will be taking the win on Coastline in the same scoreline that we saw on Villa. And a very nicely played game. If you just take a look at the stats there, let's look at this. 12 and 7 from Sox. Incredible stats post up, especially when combined with Villa. Now, 4 players on Rocket Gaming have got that plus 1.0 rating. Punoth literally on the brink of being there himself. But only Enk on Fallacy is able to pick up a positive rating. Everybody else is really struggling to pick up those kills and pick up the survivability they need. And that is actually going to be it.
Will be it. A very nice display coming once again from Rocket Gaming. securing a total of 6 points. That means Rocket Gaming now have 14 points. For comparison and for context, Mkers Academy are currently leading the Contenders division with 18 points. And yeah, Rocket Gaming now behind them. They are 4 points short, but yeah, it's going to be a close call between the first and second positions. I think even though we are just in our third Playday, and the group stage is going to go on for quite a long time, I think the likes of Mkers Academy and Rocket Gaming, not just the fact that they are first and second positions respectively, but also the way that they've been playing their matches, I think they might have just secured a spot in the championship playoffs. Little too early to call. This isn't predictions right now. Speaking of the predictions, looks like the staff predictions worked out very, very well. 70% of the staff is correct. Community thought about a draw, and to an extent, I mean, even we believed a draw would have been possible, maybe on Coastline, but altogether, Rocket just whooped the floor.
Yeah, I think that a very strong performance from them, and a very good showing to just demonstrate what they're capable of as they're going to be moving forward in the Contenders series. So will Fallacy, let's be honest, they're still going to keep going. They're really been enjoying it so far. They've had a good showing. They are going to have better games. They did go up against, like you said, now the second position in the Contender series so far. That this is not all going to be just wiping the floor with Fallacy. They have got a lot of positives to take away when they really knuckle down and get the strats. That's when they're able to get those wins, but it's when they're feeling uncoordinated, when they're just going and playing up as on their own. That's when they really seem to fall apart against the more well-made teams like Mkers Academy and Rocket Gaming. So I'm quite excited to see the development that's going to take place for them, because let's be honest, Fallacy, they've got a lot of potential to make that happen. So this is going to be a redemption arc for them in my eyes.
Certainly so. I think in a way, Fallacy, I mean, we always say this regardless of which team wins and loses. You always have a lot to learn from your games, especially when you're playing in official leagues. So I'd say that there's a lot for Fallacy to learn with their late rounds on attack and defense. Even for Rocket Gaming, a few of the rounds where they didn't really perform as they should have, as expected, they played a bit below expectations and below average. All that being said and done, that concludes our first and only game of today. There was supposed to be another game, but don't worry, you'll see that game tomorrow. Thursday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And yes, Thursday will be our next stream. I believe it's going to be at the same time you guys tuned in today at 6:30 p.m. CET. Till then, again, keep a reminder, Thursday, CET, 6:30 p.m., another game of Contenders Division. But till then, I've been the real CCV along with McCready. We'll be signing off. We'll be going out. We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.